Okay. Usually shows something in here, don't it? Oh, there we go. And then I just pause it from here.
And you might want to make sure that your WebEx is, no, we don't pause it. What we do is.
Stop video.
Yeah, you might want to cut off your camera because you're showing in live stream now.
Oh,
I came on your office because I was trying to make sure I didn't
Shall be first.
Correct.
Choir. Choir's over here. How you doing?
Are you giving
Doing
the
good.
message tonight?
Just organizing everybody.
Where's the
Those are
solution bed? I'd like that one. That's okay.
It always turns out with always some kind of emergency. Like,
Listen, we're only three members. so I'm not
Correct.
sure. Yeah. But,
Yeah, I'll just put two absent.
yeah.
Right. Kind of stop letting all the hot air in.
Oh, yeah. Alright. We resume the meeting at 5:03. Report out to closed session. In closed session, the board took action to reject the claim of damages for claim number 3126078. The board voted unanimous, voted 3-0, 2 absent, to reject this claim of damage, claim number 3126078. Vote was 3-0 with 2 absent. Next, we have presentations.
Yes, mentorship presentation. I think I only have 2 here, but that's okay. You will get through it. So, Barstow Unified School District does a mentorship program. Yes, please come on up. Does a mentorship program for those of you that don't know. I know Wellness Together is here. To support our principals, our assistant principals, our deans, and now our school administrative managers. We have 4 administrators that help us ensure that mentorship program is up and running and going smoothly. And so we want to recognize those 4 administrators tonight, 2 of whom are not here, but I will read their plaques.
Each one's a little different.
Yeah, I need Mr. Leslie's first. So Brent Leslie, who this year was the lead mentor for the principals. Again, Mr. Leslie is not here tonight, but his plaque reads Principals Mentor Recognition for Brent Leslie in recognition of his exceptional leadership and commitment to supporting the principals of Barstow Unified School District throughout the year. His willingness to share ideas, provide solutions, and offer encouragement has strengthened our leadership team and positively impacted our schools and our students. And with our sincere appreciation for his dedication, leadership, and service and excellence in education, we present him with this recognition that we will make sure he receives as soon as possible. So if you want to hold that one for Mr. Leslie. And then the other administrator who is not here tonight is Mr. Dominguez. And Mr. Dominguez, along with Ms. Fisher, oversees the Assistant Principals Academy. They actually brought it on to BUSD and it has been doing a phenomenal job. So Mr. Dominguez, as program facilitator and mentor, in recognition of his exceptional leadership, mentorship, and dedication as a facilitator and mentor of the Assistant Principals Academy, his guidance, encouragement, and commitment to developing future educational leaders has inspired growth, fostered excellence, and made a lasting impact on our district. And with our sincere appreciation for his service and commitment to leadership development, we provide him with his plaque as well for 25-26. So I'll give that to you. You can hold those 2. And have you hold them like that.
Okay. There we go.
And then I'm going to ask the other 2 administrators to come on up, Ms. Fisher and Dr. Williams. I'm going to put you on this side. So I'm going to give Ms. Fisher.
Scoot everybody down.
Oh, we have to scoot down because.
The camera.
There you go.
Good?
There it is.
Yes, okay. So Ms. Fisher, also with the Assistant Principals Academy, I will also state that all 4 of these administrators work together. So even though they're designated to certain areas of the mentorship program, they all work together to support our other administrators. And so we're grateful for them. But Ms. Fisher, Assistant Principals Academy Program Facilitator and Mentor, in recognition of your exceptional leadership, mentorship, and dedication as a facilitator and mentor of the Assistant Principals Academy, your guidance, encouragement, and commitment to developing future educational leaders has inspired growth, fostered excellence, and made a lasting impact on our district. We have a sincere appreciation for your service and commitment to the leadership development for Barstow Unified School District 2025, 2026. So we're going to give her that plaque. And then I have Dr. Vinnie Williams standing here. And Dr. Williams, also a very active part of the entire mentorship program, but stood up to the plate this year and took over the school administrative manager's mentorship program when we realized we were confusing them with the difference between certificated administration and classified administration. So we split them out. Dr. Williams stood up to the plate, said, Deanna, I'll take over the school administrative manager's mentorship program, which he did as program facilitator and mentor. So in recognition of your outstanding mentorship, leadership, and dedication to the school administrative managers, fondly referred to as SAM's mentorship program, your guidance, support, and commitment to developing future leaders has made a lasting impact on our educational community. And with our sincere appreciation for inspiring excellence in education, we present to you also this plaque. Pictures. Do we want, let's put Vinny. Yeah.
I get to move.
He gets to-
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's so well.
John Larson.
Don Larson.
Next, we have the approval of the minutes for January 27, 2026. Recommending the Board of Trustees approve the minutes for the regular board meeting on January 27th, 2026. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. No opposed? 2, 1 absent. Number 2, February 10th, 2026, regular board meeting minutes. Recommending the Board of Trustees approve the minutes for the regular board meeting on February 10th, 2026. Do I have a motion?
So move. Second.
Call for the vote? Aye.
Aye.
Next, we have February 24th, 2026, regular board meeting minutes. Recommending the Board of Trustees approve the minutes for the regular board meeting of February 24th, 2026. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Business from the floor. The board meeting is a business meeting of the board held in public forum to comply with the Brown Act. It is not a town hall meeting with the board. This is the time for citizens to present problems or questions they have, the questions they feel the board should discuss. Individuals are encouraged to address the full board, not individual board meetings. The law prohibits the board from taking any action on items not on the agenda. Requests to speak cards should be filled out in advance and presented to the superintendent's executive assistant. Instruction for submitting remote public comment can be found on the website busdk12.com under the tab Board of Trustees. The board has a policy of limiting any speaker to not more than 3 minutes. The board limits the total time for public input on each item topic to 15 minutes or 5 individual requests to speak. The president may review the submitted requests to speak or take a poll of speakers for or against a particular issue and may ask for additional persons speak only if they have something new to add. Citizens who have comments on or against a particular issue may be asked to provide written comments for the records or to sign in agreement with the written comments of another citizen. All names are memorialized in minutes. With the board's consent, the president may increase or decrease the time allowed for public presentations, depending on the topic and the number of persons wishing to be heard. For the record, please state your name.
None at this time.
Ready. Staff reports.
Our first report is Title IX UCP presentation, and Dr. Michelson is here.
Good evening, everyone. While my slide presentation is going up, I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you to Ms. Swearingen. She's been amazingly supportive of me and our district with me in this new position and the duties that I fill. And I just want to say thank you for your time. And good luck. Enjoy your Fridays off. So the presentation tonight, guys, since we've been through a lot of the basics of Title IX and UCP together, is just kind of a wrap up a little bit of where we are and maybe where we might go in the future. So the future of Title IX UCP Compliance Office. Just want to again kind of recap all the partners in the complaint pathway right now. Because I think it's good for us all to remember how many people are involved in this process. So we have our Title IX coordinator, Mr. Scott Godfrey. We have our UCP coordinator, Mr. Jorge Gutierrez. We have myself, Title IX UCP Compliance Officer, Rebecca Michelson. We have our Director of Supportive School Climate, Dr. Vinnie Williams. We have our SPED 504 and counseling support through Pupil Services and Dr. Heather Reed. Student Welfare is Ms. Carolyn Norman. Then notice and preliminary investigations are handled by the current site principals and oftentimes their school administrative assistants or SAMs. And then we also partner with T&G Consulting. I wanted to really break down for us what T&G is currently doing to support us. So the slide is there, but I'm going to just expound a little bit on some of it. So they help with planning, organizing, and agendaizing items because as I'm sure you guys realize, there are a lot of complaints that are submitted. Some of them belong here in the district. Some of them belong specifically with me as Title IX or UCP complaints. Some of them go to different departments and department heads, but there is a lot of items to organize. So one of the things that T&G helps a lot with is that planning, organizing, and agendaizing of those items, including timelines, deadlines, things that need to happen. I'm going to skip down to number 4. They provide a lot of documentation that we utilize in the process that's federally required with Title IX cases, including the notice of investigation allegation, which is required by Title IX and UCP. They help with outreach to complainants, to respondents, to witnesses, to teachers, to all the people involved to get them to participate in the process. They also help with drafting decision letters, internal memoranda for our use and our documentation purposes, and many kind of document support activities. They provide us with trained investigators. They provide us with trained decision makers. And as makes sense, I think for all of us, it's good for those to be 2 separate people. And especially for a decision maker to not be involved in any of the process up to the point where they receive all the facts and have to make a decision. They've represented our district as interim Title IX coordinators, as interim deputy coordinators. They provide Title IX training for our management team. They've also done specific training with our principals and things like that. And they also just provide invaluable expertise and advice to me in particular. As I'm approaching my 2-year anniversary in this position, I'm much more knowledgeable than I was 2 years ago, but it's the kind of landscape that is always changing and evolving. So it's good to just be completely informed at all times, and it helps to have experts in our corner. So again, just kind of reiterate some of the information we already know, which departments handle what type of complaints. Title IX UCP is me. And again, Title IX is anything that's related to sexual harassment. And then UCP is anything related to categorical discrimination, discrimination against people who are members of a protected class, like race, age, sex, mental capacity, that kind of thing. Complaints against employees are currently handled by Mr. Gutierrez and the personnel department. Williams complaints are handled by Mr. Scott Godfrey and Educational Services. And then any kind of SPED 504 complaint is handled by People Services and Dr. Reed and her staff. And then student safety and bullying is handled by Carolyn Norman in her capacity as student welfare, director of student welfare. And then, of course, as we're refining and making our system more efficient, we're making sure that we convey to our parents that complaints submitted to the district office where a step has been skipped in the process, where they haven't made direct contact with their site administrators, is something where we shift those back to give the administrators an opportunity to solve problems at the site first. And then if their needs aren't met, then they can be elevated up to us. So all of these are things that we've established over the last 2 years, or at least made a little bit more structured, and are sharing that information with as many people as we can. And that is helping, I think, in making our process more efficient. But I'd like to just touch base. Oh, first of all, I'd like to mention things that we are doing really well. In the 2 years that I've been here, we are doing really well at reporting. Our site principals, our site SAMs, our site APs and deans of students are doing really good about making sure that we as a district are aware through my office of what's going on with our kids, what situations are happening, what, even if something isn't, blatantly Title IX, if it even comes close, if it comes near, then they want to let us know, just to make sure that we've covered ourselves, that we're protecting our students, that, the district is doing everything they can to protect our environment and make it a place of learning. So what I'd like to talk about now is perhaps maybe how these things could shift in the future. So next slide, please, Stephen. So how can this office that is comprised of me, how can it grow? And one of the things we're focusing on too is how can we shift from external workload to internal workload? How can we be more efficient as a district? So an example of how this might look is, I was calling it Becca's wish list, but it's not exactly that. It's just maybe an idea for how things might be different and maybe more efficient. I would love to see the Title IX UCP compliance officer take on titles and duties of the Title IX coordinator and the UCP coordinator, so that we get to a point where all complaints are handled through a single office. And then there would be changes that would need to evolve to make that possible. I'd like to see, in a perfect example of a world where this might be the case, a district providing an administrative assistant to the Title IX UCP office for administrative support, things like the calendaring, agendizing, making sure deadlines are met, getting all that administrative stuff on the books, so to speak, so that can be followed carefully. And then a district perhaps having 2 dedicated investigator positions to support a compliance officer and our district and our students. I think that we've mentioned something like this, but T&G currently spends about 10 to 15 people on any one of our cases to handle much of what is happening. And they're amazing at it. But it would be even better if a district could do that themselves. It would be more timely, it would be more efficient, it would be more our own. And I think that would be a really worthy goal to strive for. If all the complaints are handled through a Title IX UCP compliance office, perhaps the office could be renamed Compliance and Complaint Office or something like that. I'm just throwing it out there as an idea, nothing permanent or concrete about it, but I like the acronym or the initialism. So we're going to go with CCO, the Compliance and Complaint Office. And so then how might a district make something like this CCO concept happen? I think it includes several different factors. And again, just my input on this, a dedicated and confidential space for the CCO, and I'm gonna keep referring to the CCO, maybe it'll catch on. Bumper stickers or shirts or something. Well-trained support staff and investigators in the CCO office. Constant and continual training for the CCO team, because as I said, the landscape changes all the time. So we wanna make sure that we are right on the cusp of anything that's happening. Continued training for principals and investigations, Title IX UCP and report writing, and then continual training for staff who have direct interaction with our students. So important. One of the reasons why we do the mandated trainings every year too is just remind people what's important, what do we need to watch for, how can we support our students and make our environments purely about learning and not letting them stress about any other factors that shouldn't be part of that environment. And they, like I said, we are improving in leaps and bounds, in my opinion. And I think that we are offering that much more protection to our students. We are getting those reports. And I think that we just need to continue to emphasize how important it is to share that information as immediately as possible. When, as a district, we become more independently proficient and efficient, I think then we'll get to that point where we can shift from external expenditures and relying on external entities to bringing it home, keeping it in-house. And I think for that kind of stuff, then we're also looking at a maximizing of district funds, which I think is an ultimate goal that we should be focusing on. And then, of course, because I've made this a tradition, my dog Jerry is going to make an appearance on the next slide where I ask you, sorry, the next slide after this, where I ask you if you have any questions that I can answer for you. Where's Jerry?
Oh, there he is.
There's Jerry.
That was good.
You're a monster, Steven. Yeah, he's pretty cute. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. That's amazing. You're doing amazing. So just thank you, first of all. I did have one question. In the conversation, you were reporting that like there is I forget the term you used, but for the decision maker, like they're hands off all the way until it's time to make the decision. I like the idea of us pushing towards more internal. I think it just makes more sense and maybe more cost effective. If we were to do that, would we still need TNG or someone for that portion of the decision making?
I think that ideally we have well-versed and experienced administrators in this room, actually, who have acted as decision makers in the past. And in a process where all hands on deck, everybody's participating in an investigation, I think that we have resources here in our district office that we go to as neutral decision makers. Occasionally, just to be completely honest, because Barstow is a small town and everybody knows everything about everyone else. We see everybody at Stater Brothers and Del Taco. I think that there might be times where we would still need to lean on TNG for absolutely neutral situations or highly
Sensitive.
thank you. That is an excellent word. Highly sensitive issues, we may want to go with that kind of resource. But again, I think that would be an excellent use of their expertise and much less in our day-to-day activities like they are now. And I'm not complaining, they're amazing. But again, move it in-house and then repurpose funds that are currently being used to hire outside third-party consultants. Can I answer any other questions? Look, I didn't run away from the podium before I gave you a chance to talk. I'm here, guys. I'm staying.
Excellent presentation, and thank you for the information.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
My question,
Yes, sir.
I do have a couple of them.
Okay.
Timely. If you had a full office with everyone you need, it would make it timely. But with just two, it's not going to ever be timely.
You want to give me 8? I'd be fine with that too. 8 trained investigators? Perfect. Let's do it. But I understand what you're saying.
Ask
Yes.
the question.
I know, but and I like the idea of someone that's not part of it doing the investigation, because there is no biases, there is nothing there. They just come in and do the work. That's to me is the most important part of it. When you talk about training the principals, our principals are great. I don't think we could add another thing on their plate. I mean, I think it'd be great to have its own little department and you report directly to the superintendent, no one else. But to get the principal involved, I think that would be very, very difficult for that principal, because they got the whole school to run anyway and everything else that goes with that. To add this would be even, I think it would be tougher. I think they need to know the information, but I would say internal to the district, not to the school site. See what I'm saying?
I do. And what I would just clarify there is that when I say principals and investigation, what I'm talking about is that initial piece where we report, where we gather student statements, which the principals are already doing.
Yes.
Yes. Where when something is shifted back to the school side, because in fact, it does not rise to the level of Title IX, UCP,
Right.
It's not a complaint against an employee that Mr. Gutierrez's office needs to handle. Those principals then would undertake tasks that they already do to finish out that investigation. As far as the non-bias, I think that's why it's really important that we have something like a dedicated investigator or 2 or 8, because when your focus is gathering facts, just the facts, ma'am, dragnet style, that's your focus.
That's your focus.
You're not worried about, I mean, not that all of us aren't paying attention to what's on social media, but you're not worried about like the kind of community politics. You're just there to gather the facts and present them to somebody else who will make the decision based on the facts.
Got it. Yeah, got it. I just want the clarifications on that, because
Yeah.
I think it'd be a great idea, but just wanted to clarify.
No, I appreciate that as well. Our principals have many things on their plate, but this isn't adding anything to it. It's just having them finish out things that they already started, which is absolutely integral to the process as well. To get that initial report, like I said, that initial report that starts the whole process, catalyzes me reaching out, catalyzes T&G reaching out at this juncture in time, to just make sure our parents know that they have options, they have resources, and we want to support their students in any way we can.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Perfect.
Have a good night.
Yeah. Next, we have the monthly cash report.
Yes, Mr. Beaton.
Good evening. So the district's current cash position remains strong and continues to reflect prudent financial management. As of June 15th, 2026, the district's cash balance, as reported by the county treasury report, is $46,077,929.81. Overall, this cash balance provides sufficient liquidity to meet payroll, vendor payments, and all other short-term financial obligations. The district continues to maintain adequate cash resources to support current operations, and there are no cash flow concerns at this time. In conclusion, the monthly cash report reflects positive cash flow. In addition, acceptance of this report has no fiscal impact, as it is presented to the board for information purposes only. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? No? All right, we'll move on to enrollment report.
Also, Mr. Beaton.
Thank you. As reflected in the enrollment charts, month 10 enrollment stands at 5,857 students, which represents a decrease of 82 students compared to the same point last year. This overall change is comprised of a decrease of 36 students at the elementary level and a decrease of 46 students at the secondary level. While the district-wide enrollment total reflects a net decline, the data shows that enrollment movement is not uniform across sites. Many schools experience enrollment growth, resulting in a combined increase of 169 students, while other schools experience enrollment declines totaling 251 students. The net effect of these movements resulted in an overall decrease of 82 students year over year. Key sites contributing to enrollment gains in month 10 include Barstow Fine Arts Academy had a plus 60, Crestline plus 41, STEM Academy plus 30, and Linwood plus 24. The sites that had declines was Barstow Junior High School, 65 decline, Barstow Intermediate School, 52, Cameron, 28, Skyline, 27, and Montero was 21, excuse me. Enrollment patterns continue to reflect site level redistribution rather than uniform decline across the district. Several schools are experiencing growth while others are experiencing sustained declines, indicating shifts in student distribution across attendance rates and program offerings. Secondary schools reflect greater enrollment volatility compared to elementary sites, while with multiple campuses showing continued year-over-year declines. At the same time, select elementary programs continue to demonstrate stable and increasing enrollment. The presence of both significant gains and losses across sites highlights the importance of ongoing monitoring at the school level, particularly if those trends directly inform staffing allocations, facility utilization, and budget planning assumptions. Enrollment trends will continue to be closely monitored in the upcoming fiscal year. While the overall year-over-year change of 82 students does not create an immediate budget adjustment requirement, enrollment remains a primary driver of long-term LCFF revenue projections and staffing alignment decisions. Continued focus will be placed on understanding site-level trends to ensure resources remain aligned with student enrollment patterns and to support long-range operational and fiscal planning. Staff will continue to evaluate enrollment shifts as part of the district's ongoing efforts to maintain fiscal stability, operational efficiency, and appropriate resource allocation across all sites. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? No. Thank you, Ms. Beaton. Next, we'll have the superintendent's report.
Yes. Well, here we go. As I present my final superintendent's report tonight, I will breathe.
Oh, you got it.
I do so with a heart full of gratitude, reflection, and deep appreciation. Serving this district has been the honor of my professional life.
You got it.
And as I step into retirement, I want to take a moment to look back I can do this.
Take a break, take a
Yes,
break.
you can.
Take a deep part.
I want to take a moment to look back on the journey we have traveled together and to thank those who have made it possible. To the Board of Trustees, thank you for your unwavering dedication, commitment, and governance. Your leadership and shared vision have been the bedrock of our progress, and I am deeply grateful for the trust you placed in me to lead our schools. To the cabinet, thank you for your honesty, your tireless support, and your counsel. Leading a district requires tough decisions, and your willingness to speak truth, collaborate, and carry the weight of our mission alongside me has been invaluable.
Okay.
You're doing great.
Take a deep breath. Drink some water. Drink some water. It helps. No, drink some water. It really helps. Drink some water. You won't choke?
Yeah, I'll check. Take a sip. To the BUSD staff, from our classrooms to our front offices, our cafeterias to our buses, your tireless work does not go unnoticed. You are the heartbeat of this district. Thank you for showing up every single day with passion and purpose for our kids. To our students, parents, and Barstow community, thank you for welcoming me, partnering with me, and trusting BUSD with our children's futures. As a school district is only as strong as the community that surrounds it and Barstow's resilience and heart are unmatched. We have walked a remarkable path together. Navigating triumphs and challenges alike, always keeping our students at the center of our work. I am profoundly appreciative of every ounce of support, kindness, and collaboration I have received during my tenure. As I hand over the torch, my parting wish for BUSD is simple. Remain curious. Never stop asking how we can do better. Never stop exploring new ways to lift our students up, and never lose the wonder of learning. The future of Barstow Unified is incredibly bright. And though my chapter here is ending, I will always be cheering you from the sidelines. Gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. Thank you, Barstow, for a beautiful journey.
You want to take a minute?
I'm good. Go ahead.
Next, we'll have board reports.
You'll think of it.
Mrs. Gibbons.
Lord.
Thank you.
It's
Nothing to, right. Nothing to report. Just to Deanna, God bless you. You're amazing. I just pray that he keeps you covered, and it's not easy, right? And a lot of people don't see behind the scenes. They don't see the gravity. They don't know the weight that you carry, but you've done it very stoic, you know. So I'm proud of you, and thank you. Thank you. And it has always been good. Like it happens, but you are a good person. And you mean well. So thank you for really taking the effort and the energy to push us in the direction that we needed to push. And I just want to tell everybody out there, like the change is coming. So, you know, you can't scapegoat her. Like everything that she's done to change is because it's required, and it's still going to come. So thank you for picking us up and getting us going in the right direction. And I know it was hard for you, but I really do hope that you stay covered and do keep an eye on us, right? Check on us. But no reports from me today. Just happy to be here, and thank you for your touching. It was very touching. Try not to cry too, so no more crying.
No more crying.
That's all.
Mrs. Perea.
Deanna, thank you so much. And may God bless you in your further endeavors.
Thank you.
Take care.
Ceaseless.
Yeah, well, you're gonna have every day will be a Saturday. It's kind of boring, I'm gonna be honest with you.
That's exciting. It's okay.
I think it was a couple of weeks ago, I went to a few schools with maintenance director John Larson and Doug Deaton. And we looked at some of the progress we're having with the retrofitting, renovation, school improvement, whatever you want to call it. I mean, call it fixing up the schools. It was pretty nice. We were at Henderson School. They were tearing up the roofs, the electrical, the air conditioning, putting asphalt on the school. I don't know when that school was built, but you know what? The staff, the teachers, the students, they deserve what was going on over there. I mean, it was a lot of work. It must have been 50 men working over there, over 50. I mean, it was going on, man. It was awesome to see. Like I said, everybody that works there deserves what's going on there. Your tax dollars are going to good use. Mr. Larson's right on top of those contractors. I mean, he's telling them, you know, we're also at STEM. They're going to put a new building in there. They have a ramp going from one building to the cafeteria. And I told him, I said, God, we already had a, ADA was already a ramp there. And he says, no, it's got to be a 3% slope. We went out to the playground where they're going to put a new a building out there, and the asphalt was kind of shaky. And he called the guy over, and he read him the riot act right there. You know what I mean? He said, it's unacceptable. It was, I didn't even feel sorry for the guy. He's probably getting paid a lot of money, but kudos to John for taking care of our money. You know what I mean? It was awesome. We also dropped by the high school in the cafeteria. They were doing asbestos removal. I guess there's more of a legal term to it than that, but they're taking out the asbestos. They're going to put a new floor inside the where the kids eat, and have a little Aztec drawing there for them. We also went into the old girls' locker room. Mrs. Norman's been in there 1,000 times. It looks 10 times different. Remember where they had the blocks for the showers and all that? It's all gone. It's like a college locker room now. You know what I mean? And the kids deserve it. The coaches deserve it. You know what I mean? It took a lot of work to knock that cement off, and I bet it costs a pretty penny to dispose of all that cement. But it's going along great. We moseyed on down to the boys' gym. I forgot what the sticker there was when they said that was built. It was built in the 30s or something like that. And they're painting inside there. The painters were on top of it, contractors, and they're going to put the paint on there so when it gets dirty or gets a little tagged up, they'll be able to remove it. There's a lot of work being done. We went over to the junior high, seeing that artificial grass, turf, whatever you want to call it. It looks nice. I mean, it's nice, man. I told John I felt like tackling him on there, but I didn't want to go to the emergency room. And it really did. It really looked nice. I mean, the kids right on top of it. I really think John's a good addition to our staff here at Barstow School District. That's basically about it. I mean, it's nice to see the work being done. They said that STEM it used to be Thompson School, was built in 1952. That's did you go to school there, Rick?
I did.
So did I. Went there in 1961 for kindergarten, first, third, fourth grade. All our schools need improvement. I mean, but I'm glad to see that it's getting done. Doug, thank you very much for being on top of it. And tell John he's doing a heck of a job. That's all I got. Thank you.
All right. Well, done a lot of things since the last meeting, but I can't remember half of them. But I did go last Monday to the high school and help hand out the weekly
Nutrition service.
with nutritional services. And let me tell you, they tried to work me. When they said, "Oh, we're all done," I left. But it was, those ladies and gentlemen are so professional at what they do. They're kind, they're sweet. It's just amazing what they do and how they had that set up. And I was very, very impressed. Those are little things that a lot of the community never see that we do. And I've been telling everyone I know got kids in school, hey, did you sign up? But it was just amazing watching them do their work and how they do it, and so impressed. And I was honored just to go and help. Supposed to have been there yesterday, but I was taking a Saturday. But I'll be there next Monday. So, but it was amazing what nutritional service does, and I was so impressed. Deanna, my time on this board, when after my first meeting, I went, wow, that's a lot. And you have helped me guide me through this vertical learning curve. And it's tough. It is a lot to learn, but you did a wonderful job. You opened my eyes to a lot of things, got me to understand a lot of things. I do ask a lot of questions, because I, as a board member, want to know them and make sure that I understand so that the community will understand what we're doing. And a lot of things we have discussed over these years, over this, year and a half, it's happening. And that's because of you. And I know it's tough, but you have done an outstanding job. I have defended you tooth and nail. But we will miss you. Please, I got your number, so
Yeah.
I'll give you a call.
Good.
And we'll miss you a lot. Thank you. Next, we have BEA,
No
Nope.
BEA tonight.
CSEA,
No CSEA tonight.
Personnel Commission.
We have personnel commission.
Try not to knock over all that stuff. Glad we don't have the water. Oh, yeah. Good evening, board members, staff, and distinguished guests. This is the report from the Personnel Commission for tonight. We currently have one interview in process, one classification that is interviewing. We have 2 recruitments that are testing, and we have 0 recruitments that are open. Our statistics, we have 397 classified employees. We have 174 8-hour full-time, 137 part-time, and then 86 non-benefit part-time. As always, we have 18 classified management employees. On the classifications, we have no vacancies for campus security. Campus safety, we're scheduling interviews July 7th for the vacancies that we have. We're collecting them all and so that we can have one interview as opposed to multiple interviews. On custodial, we're scheduling some of the backfill for some of the transfers that happened with the new positions. There was individuals that turned down offers and some outside candidates could not meet certain requirements. So that kind of set us back, but we're working on those. For the para special needs group, we're finishing up those positions. We made a lot of offers and the same happens, right? Some individuals change their mind, turn us down once they have an offer, and sometimes they don't meet all the qualifications that are needed to work with us. So, but we have a couple that we're still working on. So we're trying to finish those up. For the senior office assistants, we had interviews yesterday and offers were made. So we're working on the onboarding process. And we also have interviews next Monday for an additional senior OA. For the paraeducators, we're going to have another set of group interviews for the paras. So it'll be the TK plus the para equity multiplier positions. And we're going to group them all together so that we avoid some of that transition that happens from part-time to full-time. So we're going to do it all at once. We're hoping that way we don't have so much movement. We're working on coordinating a date for the summer with the principals. So that's also another our agenda. For some of our testing, we're testing this week for grounds maintenance. So we tested today, tomorrow for grounds maintenance, and we're also testing for nutrition services too, tomorrow and Friday. So those are the 2 that are next to test. We're reviewing minimal qualifications for low voltage specialist, credentials technician, and admin assistant department 2. And I think we have maintenance 2 as well. Oh, sorry. So maintenance 2 and admin assistant department. There was quite a few applicants, so we're reviewing those applications. For campus safety and security, we completed trainings. I'm not sure if I reported this last time, but June 1st and 2nd, we completed their trainings of de-escalation, critical incident management, SB 1626 required training for them, and also they were CPR first aid certified. So we got them all certified. Our next PC meeting will be we go dark in July, so it is Thursday, August 13th at 4:30 PM in this room. And that's all I have for this week, this month. Do you have any questions for me?
Anyone? I do. It's amazing. You sit on this board, a lot of people like to call you and say, hey, any job openings?
Uh-huh.
Like, continuously check on busdk12.com.
Yes.
Because I know they come out on there and, you guys put them on there. Go ahead.
Yes, on EdJoin, there's a button on our homepage, so for jobs, and also on EdJoin. We send out when we do our postings, our recruitments, we send them out to the community, it goes to the county. Some of the nonprofits also, we send them off to you. I can send them to your organization as well, so that they get distributed. And we try to use some of those online services also to post the positions. But yes, we put them up. I tell people if they looking for something and they don't find it, or it's not what they're looking for, just check every couple of weeks, and things get opened up there all the time. We'll likely be opening again for pair of special needs. We just can't get enough of those. Even though we're completing the recruitment, we have 86 pairs, and I think we're short about 5 now. So we narrowed that gap, but it's always good to have that pool.
Like I say, I just tell them to make sure they check the website.
Yes.
And continuously check it, because there's new things coming out all the time.
That is correct.
Thank you.
Right.
Anybody else?
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
All right. Next, we have adoption of agenda. Do we have a motion to adopt?
So move.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next, we have the consent calendar. We have no, I should say, we have no communications tonight. The consent calendar, would any member like to pull anything from the consent calendar? No? I would like to pull item K313, renewal of wellness together.
Yes, thank you. We have them here to present, so thank you for pulling that.
Exactly. Do I have a motion minus K313?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. K11, April 2020. Is this where we at?
No,
Oh, we
you did-
approved it. Yes.
Yeah, we need to go to K. We did the discussion and go to K313.
Yes.
Wellness.
I'm glad you reminded me.
I think you want to test it. Yeah, you already passed it.
Yeah.
K313, because you're gonna wanna.
Right there. All right, since I pulled K313, renewal of wellness together.
Here's the. Recommendation.
Yes. Recommending the Board of Trustees approve the renewal of the contract with Wellness Together, Inc. to provide on-site and virtual school-based educational related mental health counseling service to students and families during the 26-27 school year.
And we have them here to
Yes.
data on what they've done so far before you vote to approve.
Yes.
Well, good evening, board, cabinet, staff, guests. Thank you for being here. And this is our Wellness Together team. They're going to do a presentation to let you know what's been going on in the district and how they've been supporting us this year and for the past 3 years. Yeah. I'll let them introduce themselves.
Good evening, Board. Superintendent Swearingen, thank you for your dedication to the community and for being human in front of us tonight. The cabinet, to staff, for all those watching, thanks for your commitment to this community. My name is Jeremiah Aha. I'm a licensed therapist and I serve as Director of Communications with Wellness Together. A couple of members of the team you'll hear from this evening is Robert Garcia. He's our Senior Director of Operations, and Chantel Urban, one of our school-based program directors as well. So thank you for the time here. We've had a chance to visit school sites today and hear from you from afar for about 3 years now. And it's great to get a chance to meet folks that have gone to school here, have had their kids go here, have spouses teach here, have been born and raised here in Barstow. And it's rare to get to meet folks that put down roots and stay and invest back in the community. So thank you for that. You're going to see some slides tonight. We kind of have it divided into 4 sections, and that is who we are as an organization, what do we do, what we've done together in partnership with you since December of 22, and then what's next for the partnership. So you've seen us on just line items or agenda items, and that's fair if you're kind of like, I think I've heard of it, what happens, heard the description before we came up. We're a nonprofit organization. We're based here in California. We launched about 10 years ago. I actually began with the organization as a mental health specialist. I'm getting all my hours to become a licensed therapist. We began from a school counselor who saw the need firsthand in the early 2000s, saw the rising mental health needs. And that was back when the student to school counselor ratio was about 700 to 1, almost triple the recommended average from American School Counseling Association. Thankfully, we're at around 400 now here in California. We were like dead last. So many advances have been made in the past 10 years. In any event, he saw the needs in his office every day, and it was much more than connecting with colleges or schools afterwards or schedule changes. It was meeting with students that had significant mental health challenges. If only there was someone on the other side of this wall that I could refer them, that I could collaborate with them, that I knew that referral was going to get processed and fully met, we could work together to support that student. So that's how Wellness Together was born. And now we are able to serve students through partnership with school districts across the state. And we're here to talk about for you all this evening. As I mentioned, you're going to see a lot of slides. You'll see bullet points here. Chantel and Robert are going to be showing you data, but let's get to the real reason and the real why of what we do and why we do it. Had a chance to meet with the mental health specialist today over at Barstow Junior High. It was great to get a chance to be there on campus. It was the first time that I had been there. And she mentioned she worked with an 8th grade student, that when she met her, there was significant mental health challenges that she was experiencing. There was conflict at home with her mom. It was always conflict. There was D's and F's. When she came to school, she wasn't coming to school very often. She wanted to change into an independent study program. And unfortunately, she also had thoughts of suicide. So this became on the radar for the admin there. And they said, hey, Wellness Together is here. They can meet with you, and you can be meeting with them within a day or two. And would you like to be involved in the Wellness Together program? So the referral was made. And over the course of time, what were D's and F's and at risk of not walking during promotion, she walked in promotion. She went to Six Flags with the rest of her classmates. She was making friends. She was coming to school. She had coping skills and tools to be able to navigate conflict, de-escalation, because we had someone there that may not have received mental health services elsewhere. Now, this isn't necessary to brag about us or our mental health specialists, but to say it's because of the partnership with you all, because of the trust that you've extended with us to join alongside your team to be able to do that, as those kinds of stories have happened across the district since December of 22. So zooming out and kind of giving a big picture on what we're about is we provide mental health services to schools to support them in the mental health needs to serve students. This happens in person and on campus. We'll be extending the bit of the partnership to allow for some of those students I saw earlier, home and hospital, that are there, that maybe it is a fit for them to access service virtually. But it happens in person and on campus. We have dedicated mental health specialists that go to the sites. What began at 4 elementary sites a few years ago now is in every school in the district, serving those. There's no requirements for insurance for the students to be able to access services. It is just to be an enrolled student for Barstow Unified and a referral made to the Wellness Together program. We're able to meet with them weekly for evidence-based counseling. So there's tier 3 interventions as well as tier 2 for groups and even tier 1. So we're right there when and where the students need it most. We can go to the next slide and just a couple of things just to show you all. It's one thing just to have a provider on campus or to have someone that specializes in mental health so that the teachers can teach and the school counselors can lead and the principals can be able to oversee things. It's another to have a whole program of support behind the scenes. And so on here on this slide, the big things on takeaway is we are providing, yes, a mental health specialist to deliver services, but also what they come with is immediate support for the program. Clinical supervision is also taken care of. We're able to have training to navigate a school environment. It's much different than a community agency. It's much different than a private practice. To be here on campus, to know the ins and outs, the dire importance to remain brief and positive and mission focused, not bringing problems to admin, but rather saying, here's what we've done, just keeping you in the loop. And so they're trained quite a bit with how to navigate an educational environment with layers of support beyond clinical supervision. So that's what is happening behind the scenes. And this next slide just shows what students are saying, what parents are saying, and some of the feedback that we've been getting. Anytime I'm on Amazon, stay with me here, and I look at products and I see the reviews and it's got like 100 reviews and they're all 5.0, I kind of raise an eyebrow and say like, I don't know if this is true. Believe me, 100% on these, it is true. It is valid data for you. But you can see the parents and guardians have said 100% of them have said, I've seen at least one positive change since they've been a part of the Wellness Together program. They also would say, I would recommend this. 100% of them would recommend the Wellness Together program to somebody else. The students, what we're seeing, students are tough judges, right? They're good love detectors, lie detectors. I mean, they can really kind of see what's going on. They felt comfortable seeing a counselor, which, as we know in this room, is stigma reduction is happening. They're able to go there and be able to maybe have one of the very few adults in their life to be able to connect with them and to, without shame or any type of maybe concern over what might happen away from here. Obviously, if safety is a concern, it's a different ballgame. 100% would say there's an adult at school that cares about them, which, as we know, that's all it takes to turn a life around. And 100% know where they can go for support. You'll see these quotes on here. We've talked about real students. These are real parents and guardians. And it's great to get these things at the end of when the student has gone through the program. Typically, it's 10 to 13 weeks of weekly counseling that they're having right there on campus with the mental health specialists. So at the end of those 13 weeks or longer, depending on the need, we've had parents say, I've had the most success getting mental health care for my child through this program, because a lot of obstacles are removed when they're right there on campus, when there's no insurance requirements, finances, transportation. Well, I can't make a 3 o'clock appointment on a Wednesday. It's just not possible for what's happening right there on campus can make all the difference. And we can see here, they help me so much with my baby, as you can see there. So the next couple of slides show the number of hours that were there and when we started at that particular school site. So you can see some more specifics. I won't take the time to read the slide. You have access to these. You'll be able to see. But I'm going to bring up Chantel Irvin, and she's going to tell us a little bit of the journey of what we've done together because of the partnership and the trust that you've all placed in us and the Wellness Together team. Chantel?
All right. As he shared, I'm Chantel Irvin. I am one of the program directors who oversees mental health services. I also started in my grad program, and I was a school-based therapist when I first joined, and then I've had the opportunity to do some more systems work, program implementation, and then I get to focus on a lot of the data that we're going to see here. So there will be some numbers on the screen for the next few slides, but bear with me. There are stories behind all of them. If you could go to the next one, please, you'll actually see, since we got started together, we have documented over 15,000 student support interactions. And so one of the powerful things about our program is we actually operate under FERPA. So there's a lot more information and insight that's exchanged between our providers and the educators, the teachers, the counselors, and the admin. So we really want to create like an open space to be collaborative, to make sure that like every single person that this kiddo is interacting with can have some kind of insight into what's been helpful. Of course, working alongside the kiddo to make sure we're sharing good things that are helpful. So what you'll see in this number is actually all 3 tiers of support that are represented in this. So there's the individual sessions that we facilitate, crisis interventions we'll also hold with students, group therapy is represented here. Classroom presentations is actually a big one that we've seen across the board. This year, we actually have you all signed on for a student support counselor, which will go to school sites to provide crisis intervention. If there's anything immediate that's needed or anything in the community that they could provide support for. And they've been going to all the schools and delivering those classroom presentations. And then we also have, under tier 1 and other collaborative consultation, communication with parents, with guardians, family engagement sessions, and then general case management as well. So I get to celebrate with you all for a few moments the incredible impacts that we have had together in getting all of these services available for kiddos across the board at all the school sites. It's a profound number, and it's really powerful to see. What we don't see here is the kiddos that are actually supported by these services are usually the ones who would not have access to the supports otherwise. So I know Jeremiah was speaking to access being profoundly important to us. There are no insurance qualifications that come along with our services. There are no diagnoses that need to be attached for kiddos to be connected to a counselor. Anyone and everyone has access, regardless of whether or not they have transportation to get to where they need to go. So we are seeing these kiddos right on site, and occasionally with a 1 or 2 day turnaround. If something comes up, we can join the principal and the parents, in a quick conference so that we can talk through what the kiddo needs and sign that informed consent right there. So a very, very powerful number there of what we've accomplished together. Our next slide is also one of my favorites to share. We see this time and time again with the districts that we partner with. As we get to know one another, as our systems become better integrated, as the schools trust the providers, as the community comes to understand, that there doesn't have to be a stigma attached to mental health services, then people are buying in, and they're buying in more quickly. So we started with 55% of students being referred actually participating in services. And then this last school year, we got to 81% of those families. There's buy-in instantaneously. The counselor who refers the student knows what Wellness Together is, what we do, and how we provide those services, and can speak to it effectively with the families. And they're making really good referrals with students who are on board already by the time they get to us. So there's incredible cross collaboration that's happened because of the invitation that we got to join you all and build that trust over the years. Again, that stigma reduction component is just huge. I know when I was in school, I didn't talk to my school counselor, let alone a therapist on campus, but these therapists are going into classrooms or interacting with staff in the staff lounge. Like there's an understanding of what the services are and who's providing them and how they can get access to them. And then our last slide here illustrates that again, with time, with collaboration, and with that trust developed, we're able to continue to provide services, and we just see that grow profoundly and exponentially each year. So, there's thousands of hours represented here of therapists sitting across from a student or standing in front of a classroom, and creating a safe space for kids, and then equipping them with tools so that they can feel comfortable and safe and go back to the classroom and actually learn when they're finished with their counseling services. So we see a lot of that show up just in general with their education and the impact that it has on their education. We'll speak to some more data on that with Robert momentarily as well. Mr. Williams, you spoke earlier to the principals and what's on their plate, the workload that they have. And I feel that's pretty commonly shared across educators, counselors, administrators. And one thing that this slide shows as well is that there's a reduction of the work for those admin and counselors. They know that there's someone that they can get this kiddo quick access to if they're struggling. And it's opening up more opportunities for collaboration across everybody and creating more time, space, and energy to keep that space safe for everybody and have everyone, including the educators, the admin, and the counselors, feel supported by the school-based therapists there on campus. I will pass it off next to Mr. Robert Garcia.
All right, thank you, Chantel. And good evening, everyone. Thank you again for just welcoming us into your community. My name is Robert Garcia. I'm the Chief Operating Officer with Wellness Together. And my background's in education as well. So I was a teacher and an site administrator. So I was an assistant principal and a principal for a number of years in the Sacramento area. And just being here today, it's just reminded of, on your side, all of you have been obviously part of this community for so long. And it takes a lot to welcome new people in and to serve your students. And so I just feel very privileged and grateful, and didn't know, I was going to be almost brought to tears tonight either. I didn't know had to follow that. So we wish you all the best, and hopefully, I know good things you've laid the groundwork, it sounds like, for a lot of good things to come. So thank you for all you've done, and thank you all for letting us be a part of this. I was looking at your mission statement up there while I was waiting to come up here, and I think actually that really sums up a lot of why we are who we are and why we do what we do. And in particular, we have a unique angle on the services that we provide, because like our team said, we're not looking to diagnose students. We're looking to give students the skills and the support that they need to be to be safe, to feel safe, and to feel like they can participate in their learning. And I know ultimately as a school entity, that's your job. You guys are trying to put things in place to give kids the best opportunity to succeed. And that's what we're here for as well. So a few more slides. I only got about 35 slides I'm going to share. So buckle up. I'm just kidding. There's a couple. This one I think is particularly interesting. So I want to shout out Chantel and her team too. Chantel is our, we kind of tease her because she loves a spreadsheet and a graph, but she's our data whiz, and she keeps track of data on everything. And so this is one that's really interesting. So if you look at the referrals by grade, since we've been working with you all, you see now that we're at all the sites, we have quite a distribution of the referrals that come to us by grade. But if you look at the ones that are peaking there at 4th and 7th grade, those are really interesting grade levels, as I'm sure you guys know. A lot of times, I was actually a former special education teacher too. So 4th grade is particularly a challenging year for students. That's where the academic requirements really tend to jump. We start to see students struggling academically more. You see more referrals for special education assessment start to spike during that time. That's also accompanied by some of the other challenges you'll see and the reasons for referral, where there's maybe anxiety or stress, or what we call low mood, things like that accompany struggling in school. And so you see a spike there in 4th grade. And then in 7th grade, as students are hitting that age, that's where a lot of the issues with attendance come in. And you start seeing issues with chronic absenteeism. And so that's, again, we're hoping to have somebody with you guys on campus that's just another trusted relationship, another trusted adult that can be there for students to check in with and feel like they're supported. So, couple more slides. Next slide, please. So this is our breakdown by demographics. And so you'll see that. And this is just information for you all to have, the sites, the district, to help kind of maybe inform the referral process, see what's happening out there. We're seeing any students that get referred to us. So next slide. So these are the reasons for referral. Again, this is an interesting one, I think, as well. So if you look at emotional regulation, right? If you're in a classroom setting, that's typically what's going to get you most likely. Like, hey, I think you need a break from the classroom. Possibly it's going to be emotional regulation and the challenges that come with that. And for whatever reason, students are coming in dysregulated and struggling in class. Those are a lot of the students that get referred to us. And then followed by, you see a couple other of our I think we had low mood, sorry. Yeah, sadness, low mood, and then worry, also anxious mood. So next slide, please. Thank you. So we also do a pre and a post assessment with all of our students. So we use the BURS, which is really a strengths-based assessment. It's looking at 5 core areas, as you see up there. And we do it pre and post with our students. And if you go to the next slide, your students are making great gains. So if you look at this, is like we were just talking this morning as we were kind of looking through the slides again, and like we see kind of maybe 20 to 30-ish range for a lot of these, but to have again that intrapersonal strength, which is really those skills inside students that they feel like they've gained to handle whatever comes their way. And we're seeing great growth in that, almost 60% growth in that. So that's a really exciting slide. We're really proud of that. And next slide. And we do, we're not just in person, one-on-one or group therapy. Also, we provide a bunch of other supports that I think your district has taken advantage of some of them. So we have folks that can attend back to school nights. They could do parent or guardian presentations, provide professional development. And then also, like Chantel shared, we do have a district-wide crisis support counselor this year as well. So, and a couple more here real quick. So we do surveys. We do a bunch. We love surveys. You guys, I know schools love surveys. Everybody loves surveys. But we do survey the school sites to see, what do you guys think? How's it working? And so you see up here, we had a 92% satisfaction rate on how satisfied you are with the Wellness Together services provided at your site. And we have a few quotes up there as well. And then finally, the students. So we do a student survey as well. So this one, this is probably my favorite slide. So, 97% said they can better understand their feelings because of their participation in our program. And 98% said they feel like they have the skills to help them with any challenges they're facing, and what better can we do, as mental health providers, as educators in the school board. And, that's our goal, to give the students the skills they need to meet their goals, to see their dreams come true. And so we're really proud of that. We're really thankful for the partnership with you guys. So I think Jeremiah's going to close us out. We got a couple last things, and then, I'm sorry, Chantel. Yes.
I got one more for y'all. Nice long acronym, CYBHI. It's the Children and Youth Behavioral Health Initiative. It's specific to California, and it actually allows LEAs to bill insurance companies, including private insurance companies, for health services rendered on campus at school sites. So we are very excited. We get to partner directly with your team, with Dr. Reed here, to implement this alongside you all. We'll see the next slide has some key points for us here. One of the ways that we can collaborate, it can look different at every district, is we can be kind of the pilot and begin providing those services, documenting in your electronic health record system and submitting those reimbursement requests first, and then kind of lay the groundwork, build the infrastructure. The work that we do as mental health providers already directly correlates to, certain billing codes and things. So we're able to quickly implement that just by transitioning to those new systems and training up the providers on where that new documentation goes, so that any reimbursement that is made is sent to Barstow Unified specifically. So the goal with this program is to create a sustainable funding model as much as possible, and get some money back to the district for investing in mental health services overall. What's really interesting about this initiative, if you haven't had a chance to look into it yet, it aligns very well with our model in that it is also not diagnostic in the traditional sense, and it would not be required for families to sign on to this in order to get connected to services. So it remains another pathway to get reimbursement and continue services, but continues to provide that access for all the kiddos referred. And our goal is to start discussing that and matching really the district's pace for how you all want to roll it out. And hopefully by the next school year, we'll be able to start documenting in your systems to make some of that reimbursement happen. And I will pass it back to Jeremiah with the final words.
This is it. Just one more slide and then open for questions. Just an invitation. There's a couple slides here showing some programs that we're able to utilize with your students, but mainly just to give a formal invitation to you all to the 10th Annual Wellness Together Conference. Just to tell you about this, it's something that we host leaders in mental health and education every year. We've had former Surgeon General Vivek Murthy has been with us, which was an honor, as well as U.S. Secretary of Education under Barack Obama. President Obama was with us. Usually the state superintendent here in California joins us, and it's really a great time. As a district partner, we offer some registrations to them, but if you all are interested, feel free to reach out. I'd love to invite you. It's a great gathering of leaders from California across the country in mental health and education. I think that's it, and we'll take questions. I want to reserve the right to quickly pass it to Chantel for some specific questions. But yes, ma'am.
Well, first of all, thank you. Thank all of you guys. I want to say out loud that mental health it's medical when we think about it. That's why it's so impressive what you're doing, because if we're paying attention, being able to see a professional or get help within a day or two is a really big deal, because through the medical process, most of us are on HMOs, which requires you to have a referral to see a specialist, which could take 2 weeks or longer to see a specialist. You also mentioned on site, meaning you're removing the barrier for transportation. So typically in a medical realm, you're going to wait a week or two to get a specialist. You're going to get a letter in the mail or a phone call to go see your specialist. If these are young children having mental health crisis, they need help right away.
Yes, yeah.
So it's just really impressive that you guys are mentioning this part of it, because it's really a big deal. It's really a big deal that our kids are able to get support next to immediately. So just thank you for that part. I took some notes, 1 second. The medical billing part at the end, that's really impressive as well, because it's another component that the CMS 1500 is probably like the most common, but being able to guide us into that so that way we're able to actually recoup is just a blessing. But I did have one question. Is there a self-referral process, or is that an option? Do they have to come through the counselor to receive the services? Because I would want to just see it for every kid.
Right. That's a great question. I'll give an intro, and then Chantel, maybe you can kind of close this out. But yes, mainly referrals happen through one designated point of contact. Typically at elementary site, it is admin. And for secondary sites, it's school counselors or student support team, however it works at that particular site. For self-referral, it would be the student coming to that point of contact. So if it's a 9th grade student coming to the school counselor, hey, I'd like to be a part of this, can make it happen that way. One of the challenges we have for hey, every student to have it, which we're with you, every student can be supported, but to have like a pool tab and that, multi-purpose room or something could be tough, because then all of a sudden the caseload, then they're kind of overwhelmed with that. So there are avenues for sure. And typically, hopefully those students are on the school counselor's kind of dashboard just to see okay, I need to check in with the student. Is that accurate, Sean?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say those classroom presentations too, that's
Yeah.
students really get to know what's available and that we're there. And at that point, at every presentation, we're like, if you want to talk to us, come down to the counseling office, connect with your counselor, and then we can set something up and meet. And then there's always crisis intervention capacity too. So if there is an immediate need, somebody knows that there's a therapist there, they can immediately meet with that therapist.
I love it. Thank you. That answered my question. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Please keep doing the good work. It's amazing. I'm
Yes.
excited. Thank
Thank
you.
you for your trust.
Yes.
Anyone else?
Brad?
Great.
Nothing?
Yeah, back in the 60s, mental health was like voodoo. I mean, hide behind doors and stuff like that, Myself, I've went to a therapist, and, I'm not ashamed to say that, you know what I mean? And I'm glad to see the participation of the kids in the school district. It's a good thing, you know what I mean? It helped me a lot, you know what I mean? I found out I wasn't as tough as I thought I was, you know what I mean? And I think it's more acceptable now than it was back in the day, you know what I mean? And just keep up the good work. Thank you for helping out our kids.
Yes, we sure appreciate it. Thank you for your partnership.
I think it's something that I've mentioned before to the superintendent that, you know, a lot of parents don't know what's out there. And, you know, I'm all about, like Ms. Gibbon, pushing this, letting people know that it's there. Because, you know, when I was going to school, when you were going to school, I'm a little bit older than you, but you didn't have that. You did not have that. And, you know, having it, especially there on campus, is just amazing. I mean, to have that there. Now, what I do question, my question is, between male and female, do you see more females than male, or is there a percentage?
Right, great question. We have specific data for Barstow on that. We didn't include that here on these slides. We can definitely get that to you. Typically, I'll say just from in general, as a therapist looking at the data, usually females are those that have more help-seeking behaviors.
Yeah.
We'll see that.
And I think that's just something we need to work on to get the male students to hey, it's no shame in needing help.
Yes.
Because it's, you know, it's hard enough getting us adults to do it, but
right.
You know, I think it's we probably need to push something a little bit more to get male students to go in there, you know, because hey, when you're hurting, you're hurting. Doesn't matter whether you're male or female, and someone to talk to. It's always good.
Yeah,
always good.
Definitely seen it shift over the last 10 years. There's more participation by male students than it has been historically, especially at the elementary schools. There actually are oftentimes more male students who are referred and do participate in services than females because of those externalizing behaviors. Those are the ones where in the classroom it results in the teacher paying attention, noting that there might be some support the kiddo could get, and then those are the kiddos that get referred to us at elementary age.
Great call.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
So, no more questions. Can I get a motion?
I'll move.
Second?
Second. Nope.
All in favor?
Aye.
All righty. Let's go to NEMA 11, renewal of classified management personnel. Oh, I'm sorry. If you guys do not mind, we'll take a quick 5-minute break and then we'll come back and reconvene. Okay? Thank you. I'm glad you remembered. reconvene at 6:33. Next, we'll have Lehman 11 renewal of classified management personnel contract CBO. Recommending the Board of Trustee approve the renewal of the classified management personnel contract as listed, effective date indicated through June 30th, 2027.
Yes, thank you. Mr. Beaton is our chief business official and has been since 2023. And this item on the agenda is for an extension of his current contract, which expires on January 31st, 2027, to extend by 5 months to June 30th, 2027. This would put him in alignment with the other two assistant superintendents. So the assistant superintendent of personnel services, Mr. Jorge Gutierrez's contract, and the assistant superintendent of educational services, Mr. Scott Godfrey's contract, which both also expire in June of 2027. So this would align his contract with those two contracts, providing the district support in the next few months as you transition into an interim superintendent, the re-elections of 4 board members, and into the 2027 year, prepared and ready to finish out the 26-27 school year solid. And so this item is being presented to the board tonight for consideration and approval to again extend Mr. Beaton's contract through from January 31st, 2027 through June 30, 2027, effectively giving him an additional 5 months. It's presented to the board for approval.
Question? Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. On absent. All right. Next, Lima 2-1, local indicators for California school dashboard. Recommended the Board of Trustees approve the Unified School District local indicators inclusion on the California school dashboard.
Yes, Mr. Godfrey.
Thank you. As a requirement of part of the local control funding formula, every district in the state is required to review and share with the board the local indicators that will arrive on the dashboard, California dashboard. This year, that'll be October 15th, 2026. With this report today, we're looking at 5 different priorities. The state has 8 priorities as part of the funding formula. The other 3 priorities are reported on the dashboard. Those are things like student academic achievement, language arts and math test scores, graduation rate, as well as suspension rates, and whether or not students are graduating from a high school as college and career ready. All of those are reported on the dashboard. Today's report is going to look at local indicators. The first slide, if we can slide over, is basic services. And basic services is basically all of the information I present to you, both on a quarterly basis with our Williams update reports, and also the report I give you in the fall, the 8-week mark, to ensure that A, all of our students have access to their materials, and B, our facilities are in good repair. And you notice from the slide we have here, we do have some strengths. Universal access, we had 0% of our students that did not have access to their core materials. And with our facilities, there were only 5 instances where good repair was needed, meaning good repair means we can put in a work order and have the facility or the item fixed within either the end of the school day or by the end of the school year. And you see that data when I bring the SARC report information to you in a timely basis. On slide number 2, this is priority number 2. This is implementation of academic standards. In 2014, we transitioned from No Child Left Behind standards to Common Core state standards. And in that case, we were required to both adopt new curriculum as well as new teacher training and pedagogy to ensure that our students are in 21st century learning environments. You just approved a very large
math adoption, the K-8 math adoption that you saw in the consent agenda, where Ms. Jamie Fisher brought forward training for our teachers around the new curriculum, as well as the Catapult contract, which is designed to support our new teachers with core content training, particularly language arts, math, history, and social science. You'll find from this slide that in the core subjects, specifically English language arts, English language development, and mathematics, we have a rating of 4, full implementation, meaning our teachers have full access to training, both on a district level and site level. You'll find that with the history and social science focus area, there's a rating of 3. That's initial implementation. Part of the reason for that is we heard loud and clear from our BEA members that our science teachers, specifically at Barstow Junior High School, need more training, and also our new teachers need more core content training. And that's part of the contracts that you saw before you today on the consent agenda. And finally, with our CTE and other subjects, we have a rating of 5. As you heard with our presentation from Ms. Holly Bowser last board meeting, our CTE program is very vibrant. We have more than our fair share of 2-year CTE completers, which shows up on the dashboard in terms of a college and career ready student. So going to the next slide, priority number 3. This has to do with parent and family engagement. The fact that we have robust school site councils, we have robust ELACs, we have a PIO who's right over there and doing a great job for us. Thank you, sir. Ensuring that our community is informed, has an opportunity for input. We have other things like the foster youth and African American engagement and underrepresented families through our liaisons there. And we have increasing attendance at fall and spring parent nights and superintendent community events. I always mislabel this acronym, but it's the Parent Student Guidance, Parent Student Guardian. Please, Ms. Swearinger.
Yeah, Parent Guardian Student Community Alliance,
Thank you.
PGSCA.
That's been a huge effort on Ms. Swearingen's part, and she has done a great job with ensuring that we're getting participation there. And also, we are utilizing Parent Square. We are transitioning to a new website next year. We'll be training our staff on how the ins and outs of that. And the best thing about that is Parent Square is directly connected. So the communication will become even more seamless with our families. And also integrating our MTSS efforts. We have an appointment with one of our friends from Northwest PBIS at the end of the week. We're going to be looking at our district MTSS team framework and the work that we do to ensure that the work at the site level, both academically and socially, emotionally, and behaviorally is in place, and we're supporting students. And then revamping our advisory committees. That's constantly an effort on our part. There's a plan for next year to increase the amount of local control and accountability plan meetings to ensure input. Moving to priority 6. Now, this presentation you had this evening was a perfect segue into this slide. This is really about ensuring that our school climate at our schools is powerful. You'll see that the safety perception for our students at the elementary level, 65% of our students feel safe. It's not a one-off question that they answer on our Youth Truth Survey. It's actually a compilation of 10 to 12 different questions around how safe they feel, whether it's in the classroom, in the hallways, at lunch, on the bus. And the compilation of all that information says about 65% of our students feel safe at the elementary level. That does drop to 47% at the 7th and 8th grade level, and also at 46% with the high school. If you remember, in February, I gave a mid-year report on our metrics, and we did see an increase across the board with students feeling safe. However, these numbers are still low. We'd like to see them much higher. But I will also say that we're in a percentage point of the national average. So obviously at these different grade levels, there are reasons why students are or are not feeling safe, but it's more work for us to do. One of the things that our friends from Wellness Together presented was the one-on-one support that they're giving our students. In the MTSS world, we call that Tier 2 and Tier 3. That's targeted, very intense support for individual students. The effort we're doing, we're making with our MTSS at the district level and at the site level is Tier 1 supports. So what that means is increasing the efforts in the classrooms with our teacher pedagogy and the support that they're giving students around behavior so that they don't end up in a tier 2 or tier 3 situation. So it's a big effort on our part, and we're really happy to see some gains in that area. Chronic absenteeism at 44%. I think at last check, we're about 20% higher than the county in that case, and 25% higher than the state, roughly. So obviously what chronic absenteeism means is our students who are chronically absent are missing 10% or more of their school year at any given time they're with us. So if they're here 185 days, 10% would be about 19 days of school that they've missed. And with the school calendar, that's an entire month. So that creates disconnectedness, that gaps in their learning. So that's an area that we've been spending a lot of time trying to improve. Suspension rates at 9% this last year. That's a slight increase from the previous year. But again, with our work with our Northwest PBIS friends, especially with our district leadership team around MTSS, we're attacking that problem every day. And then finally, the results from the question around whether students feel that there's fairness and discipline. At the elementary level, that's 51%, middle school level 34%, and high school level 44%. Again, those numbers are low. We'd like to see them get higher, but they are in line with the national average for the most part. And I would like to focus on the actions here, expanded counseling networks. That's part of how Wellness Together and other contracts you saw today came about. Was we saw a need in these areas, and we also saw a lack of ability to hire those folks that have those expertise. So we had to contract out, but we're constantly looking for ways to build our own capacity. Implementing CRPBIS. If you get 5 minutes with me, I eventually will spit out some kind of PBIS acronym to you, because it's a lot of my effort right now, working with Dr. Williams, with Dr. Reed, with Ms. Fisher, Ms. Norman, really trying to ensure that we have a tier 1 PBIS effort in our school, because there's nothing better than tier 1, because tier 1 means we're doing it right the first time. And then finally, improving our SEL efforts. One of the things that we're going to focus on this coming school year is with our site level MTSS teams. They're going to be continuing to look at data, specifically discipline data. And based on the data that they see, they'll be looking at the SEL program and the scope and sequence of that program to identify lessons to assign to classrooms that will support in mitigating some of the issues that might be on campus. For example, bullying. That's one of the hotspots for us. Finally, priority 7. This has to do with access to a broad course of study. Basically what that means in Ed Code, we're required to ensure that elementary students have access to the big 4, English language arts, math, science, and social studies, but also PE and art. There's lower requirements for that, but we have to ensure that there's a master schedule at each site that's ensuring that. At the high school level, it gets a little more complex with ensuring that A through G courses are available and the opportunity to become eligible to apply for a Cal State or a UC. And all of that feeds into college and career readiness, which is the CCI indicator on the dashboard that's part of the CalPADS upload. And I think that's it. One of the things on the agenda today and the consent was the LCAP. You did approve that. What we will be doing at the end of this week is submitting that to the county. And there will be a little more cleanup work, probably, typos and such. And we're looking forward to this next school year being a very intense deep dive into what is in our LCAP and ensuring that the actions and services that we bring forward in the new LCAP season are more aligned with maybe utilizing less of those contracts and building our own capacity with supporting our students. And that's all I have.
Fantastic. Any questions? Nope. All right. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Next we have Lima 2, new course outline for new textbook psychology, Barstow High School. This is a discussion item and approval consideration.
Mr. Godfrey.
Yes, this is part of the broad course offerings at Barstow High School to ensure students have access to A through G approved courses. The psychology, sociology courses are actually both semester courses, and they satisfy the G requirement on A through G. I will read you real quickly a overview, but I'll stop to kind of differentiate between the two. So psychology is a study of human behavior and personalities. Sociology is a study of human relationships. The difference there is psychology is more individualized, as sociology is more about group actions. Within psychology, students will be given an insight into the cause of behavior, emotions, and cognitive reasoning. Topics include biological functioning, psychological reasoning, testing and assessment of others and self, intelligence, mental health, and mental illness, and being your own therapist. Gosh, this is so apropos for what we heard today, right? With sociology, students will be given insight into the cause of social behavior, emotions, and social reasoning, and why groups act the way they do. Topics include the sociological point of view, cultural diversity and conformity, socializing individuals, deviance and social control, stratification, racial and ethnic relations, gender, age, and health discrimination, and the family in and out of America. And I think I squished two items together there, but
You did.
I figured I'd kind of save you guys some time.
And they're both presented for information items.
Yes. All right, that was Lima 2 and 3. Next, we'll go to business services. Lima 4-1, adoption of 2026-2027 Barstow Unified School District budget.
Yes, Mr. Beaton.
Good evening. So the 26-27 budget was presented to the Board of Trustees for a public hearing on June 9th, 2026, providing an opportunity for public review and comment as required by California law. This evening, the proposed budget is presented for board adoption. Approval of the budget authorizes the district to submit its adopted budget to the San Bernardino County Superintendent of Schools by the statutory June 30th deadline. Adoption of the budget demonstrates the district's commitment to responsible fiscal planning and ensures compliance with state budget reporting requirements. While the budget is based on the best information available at this time, it is a planning document that will continue to be monitored and updated throughout the fiscal year as enrollment, state funding, expenditures, and other fiscal assumptions change. The superintendent recommends approval of the 26-27 adopted budget. And if there are any questions before we do that.
Any questions? Do I have a motion?
So move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, personnel services. Lima 6A1, public hearing for provisional internship permit PIP for educational educators for 26-27 school year. Recommending the Board of Trustees adjourn to a public hearing to provide opportunity for the board to receive input concerning proposed provisional internship permits. We adjourn for public hearing at 6:52. You have anything? No? Nope. Okay. Reconvene at 6:53.
And Mr. Gutierrez with
Yes.
the Commission.
Thank you, Ms. Ranjan. So a diligent search was made and no fully credentialed certificate of persons came forward. So this item is presented to the board to fill an immediate need. The individuals named there, Jessica Brewer and Andrew Wallace, need to complete their subject matter competency under the CSET, under Education Specialist Instruction, and the superintendent recommends approval.
You have any questions? Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Lima 6A2, employment certificated contract personnel for 26-27 school year. Recommended Board of Trustees approve the employment of certificated contract personnel as listed, effective the date indicated.
Mr. Gutierrez?
Yes, thank you. So the previous board item was to approve the PIP, which is the provisional internship permit, and this is to approve their employment. And it's presented to the board for approval.
Any questions? Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Lima 6A3, establishment of 2 certificated positions, teachers on assignment, external PBIS coach. Recommending the Board of Trustees approve the establishment of 2 certificated teachers on assignment, external PBIS coach position, 7 hours per day, 195 days per year, effective the 2026-2027 school year.
Mr. Gutierrez?
Yes, thank you, Ms. Ranjan. So, Mr. Scott Godfrey, Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services, has identified a need to increase our external coaches to support the student needs under PBIS. These 2 positions will actually support MTSS with many different areas. One, providing support to teachers to increase their effectiveness in meeting the student needs, as is all related to PBIS and SEL, and is presented to the board tonight for approval.
Do you have any questions? Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next we go to classified, Lima 6B1, employment classification management personnel. Recommended the Board of Trustees approve the employment classification management personnel as listed, effective date indicated.
Mr. Ortiz?
Yeah, so this item is to fill a vacancy for Nutrition Services Operation Manager. Mr. Stanley Tazi has been offered and accepted the position effective July 1st, 2026. There should not be any fiscal implications as this has already been budgeted, but it is a vacancy. And it is submitted to you for consideration and approval.
You have any questions? Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next, we have Lima 6B2, transfer of classified position, library and media assistant. Recommended Board of Trustees approve the transfer of a library media assistant position as listed below.
Mr. Ortiz?
For this item, just like Mr. Godfrey, this is a twofer because there's 2 items that kind of blend together. So in the next item, the junior highs requested an increase in hours to the library media assistant, and that position was split 60-40 with Barstow Intermediate School. And so that created that need at Barstow Intermediate School. And so this item is to transfer a vacancy that we have at STEM to BIS to fulfill their needs for the library media assistant. And that was created by what will be occurring with the junior high, which is the expansion of their hours. This is presented to you for consideration and approval.
Any questions? I have a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Lima 6B3, change funding source of classified position, library media assistant.
So this item is Again, junior high asked for expand their hours for their library media assistant. The funding source needs to be changed to equity multiplier to fulfill that gap. And that's what this will do. And this is presented to you for consideration and approval.
You need to read the recommendation so she can put it in the minutes.
Yeah.
We're going to take a step back.
Recommending the Board of Trustees approve the change in funding source of the library media assistant position as listed below. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Does any member have any item for future meetings? Nothing? All right. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll move.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Adjourn at 6:59.